T-Bro in the morning. Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and BoB back on the program.
Bobby.
Flat Earther Bob.
Flatter. I'm flattered.
You're flattered? Yo, so have you, I'm sure you've done interviews since that. I haven't talked to you since the Flat Earth saga.
I actually haven't.
You haven't done
This is
any
your first
interviews?
time out since
Yeah.
that whole thing?
Yeah.
So the Earth is flat in your mind. I mean, what's the whole deal? Explain.
Well, I think it's flat and it's round.
Whoa.
So
Depending on the
talk
day
us
of the
through
week?
it. Talk us through it. It's flat and it's round.
Like you ever like had a bowl of popcorn?
Okay.
Like the bowl was flipped upside down.
So it's a semicircle of sorts, or a half
sphere.
Like
half
a dome.
sphere.
Yeah,
like a dome.
Yeah.
So you think we're living in something like the Truman Show, where there's like a dome over us?
No, he didn't say it's covered.
Oh,
You mean the shape, correct?
Well, yeah.
so let me ask you this: when you are on a boat and you're leaving Japan
Uh-huh.
and you go to California
Uh-huh.
from Japan on a boat,
Mm-hmm.
that's the curved part or that's the flat part?
It's you going I'll have to look at a map
Got it.
but it's like you're going around. You're going around.
You're going around the top part, but this part's flat.
Well, it's no top or bottom. It's just plain. It's just a plane. Now, I can't really say what
Proof you have.
yeah, because like, I mean,
It's secret.
to be true and not just to like really give yourself to a theory, I can only like speak on what I have found or what I can't find. So I've never been to the edge, or if there's even an edge.
Well, then that's why it's a globe, because there's no edge.
Well, I can't find any evidence. I mean, it's been like, I guess, a year since it came out. And since then, I haven't found any evidence that it's a globe.
Have you
or a
ever
sphere.
done like an expedition? Like
I've been
maybe you
wanting
went to
to.
like a pole or something?
I've been wanting
North
to.
Pole, South Pole?
I've been wanting to. But
Because we have our coworker Cass One went to Antarctica, right?
Yep.
That's right.
He went down there,
Yep.
and he definitely said that you keep going on to the other side. You can keep going
by the way,
around.
Bob, I don't even know. I just don't know if I believe you. I just feel like it sounds like such a troll. I don't believe, because I've known you for so long, bro. You're a smart guy. And it's such a crazy thought, and I never know why.
But wait now, Kyrie Irving.
He's definitely trolling. I know Kyrie's trolling too. He's trying to make a point.
I don't think he's trolling.
But what's the point? What is the point?
Well, they're different people. So at Kyrie's point, I believe.
Is there a point to challenging the Earth being
like
round?
why that?
I
like,
heard
of all things?
I heard what he said. Like at first I thought he was trolling until I saw his interview, and I was like, all right, he's not trolling. He's seen what
You
I've
think
seen.
really? What have you seen, bro? It's just YouTube.
I
Man.
want to go. I want to go.
It's not.
You want to go where?
It's
Wherever
not-
they've
it's
gone
not-
to
it's
see
not-
the
like I
thing.
really do want to go to the edge and see how far I can go.
There's no
before
But
edge.
somebody tells me.
where's the edge though? What would that be?
Like where they tell you can't go. Where they tell you can't explore. Like where,
So
like,
there-
however far you can go into Antarctica before they
They
Stop
get to
you.
Before you
the security
die
guard-
because it's too cold?
No, the
or
security
because-
guard comes up and is like, "Not past here. You know?
Yeah. That's it. You might fall.
Not past here. This is where you fall off.
Yeah.
You be careful."
So you
son.
feel like people just pop up and they're like, far enough.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you go down there and just like nobody's there.
God, I wish Cass
You
was
just-
here.
Were you
I got
surprised?
here. This just in. Nobody's there. Because it's very cold.
Yes.
I
Now-
would, I don't want to be there either. I mean,
Were you
I just wanna see it.
surprised when? Here's how I picture what happened. Bob was really high, and he was on YouTube, and he got down in the vortex, and he started learning and reading and learning, and then he just started talking about it because like it's interesting and stuff he's learning about. Were you surprised when people bring up the subject of flat Earth? People freak out. Were you surprised at how big a story it became?
I didn't know that people cared so much about.
I didn't either.
And I come from in my specific generation, in my year, like the moon landing was like, it was always like a joke, like haha, we didn't go to the moon, or it's like
Green
it's
screen.
like a conspiracy
yeah,
thing.
right.
And so you know, we was never like really like die hard, like, man, I love the moon and space. You know what I mean? And so and I actually like when I started researching it, I really wasn't gonna like put it out there. I just wanted to keep researching it and see like what like this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? So when I like originally put out the picture and the internet exploded, I was like, what? I didn't know this many people cared.
Well, let
It
me
was
take you
wild
somewhere
to
else.
me, bro.
So I saw it happen, and I remember we ignored it. I was like, "That's dumb."
Yeah, we did. We
I'm not
came up in the
talking
news
about
for a few days. We're like, nah, Bob
By
ain't
the
doing
fifth
that.
day,
Nah.
but I think it was like 5 days in.
Yeah,
I
it
was
kept
like,
going.
"Hold the fuck on, man. Let me go ahead and research." And I found like a movement of people who are on this flat earther thing. So my next question for you, BoB, have they reached out to you to be some sort of spokesman? Because
For the
there
flat
Good
earthers?
question.
there
I
is
got a plaque. I got I got some certificates.
No,
and some
they
plaques.
didn't. They sent you some.
I told you.
Welcome.
They were like, thank you for
Welcome.
representing us.
But some certain I don't know which ones, but certain ones are like controlled opposition, kind of like.
What's
you,
that mean?
You remember in the movie Surrogate?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Surrogate, I'm about to spoil it for you.
Spoiler alert.
So cover your ears. So like the person who was rebelling against the surrogates was a surrogate himself.
He was a plant. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so it was to get everybody on his side so that they can control the opposition.
And so you believe that this flat earth thing is
certain ones, they kind of like muddy the waters to make it like super fantastical.
Well, can I
so
tell
it's
you? Well, since you're going
unbelievable.
down that path, I do believe that there is a. I don't know if it's that purposeful and like a community of people that put out these theories so that people don't want to travel. Like they don't want to go see how big the world is or how great the world is. Specifically poor people and specifically black people and specifically black males. Like I found myself at the turn.
But do they have to do that? Because poor people, they already have it set up so poor people can afford to travel anyway.
Right, but they can though. They can. I know a lot of people who don't have money who figure out ways to travel.
This way.
Listen, when I was growing up, I was lower middle class, more on the lower side, and we traveled. If we couldn't afford to fly, we took a train, we took a bus.
Yeah, when
Took
I
a
was a
boat.
kid, we went to like Destin, Florida. That's as far.
Making a big
We would
old
go-
trip from Georgia to Florida.
But, but
Florida, Georgia line.
but that's my point is I do believe that's a thing. And I
Nah,
specifically
it is, man. I mean, it's like, and I understand how wild of a idea it is because when I first started researching it,
Well, can I take you somewhere?
I actually stumbled across it by accident.
Can I take you somewhere?
Where?
It wasn't that wild of an idea to me. I just don't believe it's true. So I actually was like, well, maybe he means it's flat like it's a quarter. And the quarter's spinning, right?
I get what you're saying.
Creating
it.
an app, making it look like a globe because it's spinning so fast.
Mhm.
But if it was to stop, it would just be a flat rock. But the spinning of it creates an atmosphere and the ocean.
All right, let's put a bow on a couple of things real quick so we can move on, talk about music.
So I
and
went
everything else.
down the path.
Well,
with
you're a
you, but
conspiracy
it still-
theorist to a certain
It still
extent as
didn't
well.
make sense.
I know.
There wasn't enough.
B.O.B.,
there.
it's okay. It says here in our, and by the way, we have interns who hand us notes, and because we don't sit here trying to pick apart everything, there's a note that says you believe that the moon landing was not real. Is that a fact?
From what I've seen, I'm not convinced.
Not the first one or
We've been
any
back-
of them.
We've been back. Oh, you know what's crazy?
Yes, we've been
Have you
back.
seen?
B.O.B.,
Have you seen?
we've
Have you
been
seen the Japanese moon landing?
I
No,
haven't seen that one.
No.
Y'all gotta see the Japanese moon landing.
Why? 'Cause it's really
Why?
bootleg?
It's hilarious.
Does it not seem real?
It seems more fake than the first moon landing.
Than the U.S. one,
Yeah,
than Armstrong.
yeah.
And by the way, I went down that path too because there was a race. The first people to get to the moon, all the countries was racing for it. So to convince the population that we did it and to give that hope, they produced one in Hollywood. I went down that, but we've been back since then. So even if it was fake, yes, we've been back since then. B.O.B.
Have y'all heard the Stanley Kubrick theory?
No, what's his
Kubrick.
theory?
Stanley
Stanley
Kubrick.
What's his Stanley Kubrick theory?
You have to listen to the song called Stanley Kubrick on the Elements mixtape. It's a song called Stanley Kubrick.
And this is your mixtape.
It's my mixtape on iTunes, but it's a theory that Stanley Kubrick shot the moon landing, and he put the clues in the movie The Shining.
Whoa. See, by the way, though, here's what I love about BoB. I was worried that when we saw him, when you hear, this is our own stigma, Bob. When you hear that someone's like, that, they think the Earth's flat. I was like, oh man, I always liked Bob. Might have just completely lost it. I love that you're up here still laughing about it. Like, if you gotten up here and been staring,
Wait, I don't have my tinfoil hat on.
exactly.
I
Like,
thought I was gonna.
I was worried. You never know how these stories play out. Yo, celebrities go crazy. You had a lot of big hits, man. You never know what's gonna happen. You reach a certain level,
And then you broke up with Sevyn. That was a
yeah,
wrap.
you have a
We thought
celebrity
maybe it was-
relationship. You never
I
know.
was just jumping out the window.
And you tweeted yesterday. This is brand new news. Good
All
job,
right.
interns.
New news.
They CNN posted yesterday a big story that now 2 tourists are supposedly going to pay to be able to take a trip around the moon next year. And Bob tweeted at CNN, "Sounds exciting. I can't wait to see the video footage." Trolling CNN. Another fake story. More fake news.
You should have said alternative facts.
that was a troll. I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
I felt like trolling.
So do you believe that
So-
because they're saying there's preparations already underway, the Elon Musks of the world and the Richard Bransons of the world are making it easier for people to travel to the moon or Mars or the moon, live on
I've
the
heard
space
both.
station, whatever it is, all the above, and they're literally right now doing construction on space stations and putting things together so that people could travel there and live there for long periods of time. You just got to be able to afford to pay for it. My first reaction was, okay, these rich people is up out of here. They leaving these poor people behind. Get your bread up because they know something's about to happen. You better get your bread up and be able to move back and forth in any way you can. Because if the rich people is moving out, pay attention.
I'm finna move into the mansions that they leave behind.
Right, for as long as we can have them before it blows up or something.
But
So do you believe that's even a thing? Like, that's a possible thing?
Now, okay, let's just run along with the theory that it is flat, and some people feel like it's enclosed inside of a dome. But if it isn't, maybe there's more land that's they just discovered this new continent called Zealandia or something. Y'all didn't hear that?
They discovered a new continent on Earth?
Yeah, they discovered a new land.
Mass?
an island?
It's like it's like in the Pacific or something, like near Australia and New Zealand. It's called like Zealandia or something, Zealand or something. Not Zealand.
No, there's
New
New Zealand. New
Zealander?
I mean, New
Zealand's
Zealand
been
not,
there.
exists.
not New Zealand. It's like Zealandia or something fantastical, like a real.
Are you Googling?
I'm Googling right now.
Fine.
And do you think this is an island or a continent?
I don't know. I mean, I guess they said they discovered it, but who knows? Like, they could have always knew about it, and they were just like, all right, let's open it.
Well, the first
Oh,
thing
there you go. No. You know what, guys? This just in. BoB is not talking out of his ass. Meet Zealandia, Earth's latest continent. This is on CNN.
well,
New Zealand might be Australia's smaller neighbor, but it's sitting on a massive new continent scientists have named Zealandia, according to a publication released by the Geological Society of America. New Zealand and Australia might be able to finally give each other more breathing room. It turns out they sit on separate continents. Very interesting.
so
Told y'all Bob was onto some shit.
So it's a new continent because New Zealand was a part of Australia as a continent, but because they sit on whatever determines a continent, they're calling it a new continent, is what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, so
Well,
so
because that's the way
they
that's
discovered.
Because it says here the classification of a block continental rock largely submerged underwater.
Okay.
Got, so the
That's-
water's
yeah,
on
so
top,
it's
and then the
water.
islands
Yeah,
on
yeah,
top.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Well,
okay.
you guys, that's how most islands and continents work. You do know that, right?
No, I don't know any of that. So
And most of it's submerged underwater, and then we're okay.
Well, all
We
of
don't know.
Well, I mean, the whole point of it all is that we should never feel like we've discovered everything, and
or that we know everything.
or that we know everything. So even me, with my theories, I don't feel like my theories are absolute or what I believe is absolute. I'm still like looking up stuff. Like, man, I'm trying, and not necessarily to go deeper, but just really to not know anything. The master must be the student as well. You know what I mean? You have to have an empty cup to be able to learn new knowledge. You have to pour out your cup so to receive more.
And for the people out there that are going to research the new continent, on Snopes, which makes its business to like debunk craziness, A recent paper creates the first detailed argument in favor of considering the submerged land surrounding and including New Zealand to be Earth's eighth continent. So it's New Zealand. They are saying the land under New Zealand should be separate from Australia. So it's not new. It's a new conversation.
It's a new discovery
that scientists are having.
Yo, Ebros, chill, man. We're just trying to have some fun.
Sorry, man.
All right, Bob. So, what else is going on, man? You got a new project right now, or you're working on a studio album? You said.
Yeah, working on the studio album. This is like it's. I would compare it to the likes of the Elements because the Elements mixtapes were all produced by me, no outside influence, no A&R, no label, just
no aliens from outer space because we don't even know if that's real.
We don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Were his mixtapes real?
We
don't know.
Did he
don't
produce
even know.
them? We don't know.
Right.
Did I really put them out? Did someone implant the memories
That's what I'm
into
saying.
your mind?
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't
Is he a real
know.
person? Did Bobby Ray ever exist? What was that? Did that even happen?
I watched too much Black Mirror, man. Y'all watch that show, Black Mirror?
I heard
Yes.
about
Yo,
it.
Black Mirror's tight. You must love
Yeah.
that shit.
I love
It's
it.
so weird.
Yo, Bob's high, man. Bob's in a mansion high watching Black Mirror. That's what's happening every night.
Yo, the tape is out, right? The tape is
The tape
available
is
now.
out, man. It's out, and like it was like I didn't realize how many. It kind of tapped me into a new movement. Like I really didn't make the mixtapes to try to be conscious. You know what I mean? It was like I put out the Water mixtape, and then people was like, "Yo, y'all make a fire," and then it turned into the whole Elemental series, and so. I don't know. I just speak my mind, man. I wanted to say the stuff that I was afraid to say for the longest. And
Give us an example, and we'll play a song too.
for example, a song like Uncomfortable on the Water mixtape, or a song like Purple Mountain on the Water mixtape. It's just stuff that like I always thought, and I feel like other people think it too, but they just maybe if I say it first, it'll
What was Water about? I didn't hear it.
Water stands for We Are the Enemy, really. And it was just gonna be like that. It's like a 7-song mixtape. And so he got a good response, and like, the whole conscious community and the truther community started paying attention to it. And I ended up, doing the Fire, the Earth, and the Air mixtapes. And so all of this music was produced, and I produced it all, and it was just like untainted. It was just raw by, like, that's it, you know what I mean? And so I loved it, man. And so I took that process into the next album, and also combined the knowledge that I have of commercial mainstream Sonics, and that's what the next album is, probably, to put it simply.
And wait, when is the next album going to drop?
Like April, mid-April, late April.
So we're gearing up. for
Yeah,
that.
we getting
Now,
ready
is
for
there
something.
still any BoB that has an interest in making songs like We Up in This Bitch?
Oh yeah, like Folit, the newer Folit record, man. That's like a it's not like a We Still, but it's like like good, when you at a barbecue. I used to hate this term, like barbecue music, because it sounds like the old boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah. and it's like that. But now, like, it's cookout, like, you throwing
It's
on.
good time, man.
it's-
Family
you
gathering
playing-
music.
Yeah, and, the
Spades
family,
music.
the family gathering music is a lot more ratchet than it used to be, so.
That's fair. That's true. That is true.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I'll use that term, but it's like good cookout music,
Yeah.
barbecue music, Folit. Yeah.
What
It is.
about you were working on a project called Siege of Detroit?
Yeah, Siege of Detroit. So, I don't know if everybody knows, but the water crisis in Detroit is still happening.
Right, we talk about it on our show.
And our president currently wants to spend $52 billion on defense,
Don't
which
worry
is the
about it. That'll
fifth of the total Chinese defense budget. That we want to up our defense budget, and we have the largest defense budget on earth.
By
Who's
far.
paying for all this?
Your
Us.
social services, your education, your
We are.
We
everything.
are. We're all paying.
So is this more like a doc? Is it?
So the Siege of Detroit is it's not a doc. It's a TV series,
Okay.
and so it's based off of actual events, and it's created by Warrington Hoodlin. He did House Party, and a number of other things, and so we're teaming up with him, and he's actually got like real activists being a part of the show, and in Detroit, like this is the thing that's one of the things that's still crazy about the whole situation is that if you live in a house where the water is contaminated, you're not gonna pay the water bill for contaminated water. Now, if you have kids and you don't pay your water bill, they then deem you unsuitable as a parent and they can come take your kids away, which is what they've been doing.
What?
So it's like a real conundrum, you know what I mean, for the people in Detroit, and it's kind of getting overlooked by the media. And it's like when something happens, the media like, yo, breaking news,
Of
and
course,
then that's
of
it.
course, of
And then so it's like, this whole TV series is to bring attention to it and to just really shed light on all the things that are, and this it's just one of many of the things that plague our society. But I always feel down to do something that is like has a meaning to it that's not just about doing a TV show. Yeah,
I love it. And
Siege of Detroit.
Siege of Detroit. What's the date?
And I did the song for it too.
What's the date?
We don't have a date yet. We don't have a release date.
Is
yet.
it like a Netflix deal? We don't know.
No,
all
it's like
that
it's like a streaming. It's gonna be like I guess like Netflix. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you can say that.
The Sevyn Streeter relationship. She's a friend of the show. Also, we were all here on this show. Very much like, damn, kind of like them. You don't drunk text her anymore. That's dead, right? There's no going back. You kind of blew that one. You blew that one.
We moved on. We don't dwell on it. We moved on. And,
you guys are cool. Cordial.
We moved on.
Maybe not.
Because cordial implies that you have a certain level of relationship, whereas moved on is moved on.
Well, you can break up with somebody if you see each other like at a red carpet. Do you say hi?
I really don't know what I would do.
Oh, you haven't seen her.
That's what it sounds like. I'm reading between the lines here.
Did you regret the hotel thing?
What was the hotel
photo? There was a photo, and there was a girl in the background, and the whole thing. Did you regret that?
Let me tell you something. Like,
was that real? We don't know.
We don't know. Could have been fake.
Could have been fake.
Have you ever been in love before? Have you ever been in a breakup before?
Yeah.
Like sometimes in the moments you're not really thinking the clearest.
That's for sure.
Fair enough.
Yes.
And we all make mistakes, but I'm just famous, so everybody remembers mine.
Of course.
And
that's a fact.
Facto.
But
that's not even a theory. That's a fact.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't even remember that mistake. I don't remember what the hotel story was. There was a picture?
There was a picture in a hotel, and there was a girl in the background, or the girl posted the same photo, some shit like that.
And that shit happens out here.
Sometimes.
Well, man,
people break up every day.
I was always the artsy person. I was never the cool person. So this whole cool thing's new to me. But just give me some time, and
you're gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna be passing the cool test with flying colors.
Yo, you look it incredibly well. You wouldn't even know that you used to roll your own cigarettes and play the guitar.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, man, it's new, man. I'm like dating a singer, man.
Hey, what's happening out here?
Wow,
I respect it. I respect it. Yo, give it up for BoB.
That was
I
great,
like how
man.
you handled that. I love how you handled that, bro.